Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Color Street Life. So, I'm going to do a how-to this evening, and by the end of the video, basically, you are going to learn how to apply your Color Street nail strips with basically, just your basic full set. I want to make sure that we are learning how to put the bottom layer, the first layer, on any set, or if you're just going to wear a solid color or a glitter set, I want you to learn how to do that really well. That way you can build on your knowledge and expand the base of your knowledge. So the first thing that I'm going to do is we're going to talk about nail sets, and I just wanted to show you real quick. This set that I am wearing has been on my fingers for 2 weeks today. So actually you can see that they look really, really good after an extended amount of time on my nails. Now, in speaking about that, I don't think that I'm really harsh on my nails. I do wash dishes, I scrub pots and pans, the rest of it goes in the dishwasher. I clean the bathrooms, I scrub sinks, I take care of, I bathe the dog, I work, so I type a lot. So occasionally, I do have the nails, and you can probably see this one has a little bit of a chip on the corner of it. And I think that's just basically from typing, opening things, stuff like that. So I'm not hugely hard on my nails, but I do get roughly 2 weeks out of my sets. And I may just be a lucky person that way. I know that there are some that don't get quite as long, and there are some that get even longer, just depending on how you use your hands, and especially in your jobs. Now, with my ladies who work with any kind of chemicals, I cannot guarantee 2 weeks. I know that I've had a couple that, actually just one that reached out to me and said they just didn't work for her. She works in a factory type setting where she uses chemicals all the time. And so the chemicals just would eat away the polish, which it does, she said, did that with gel nails, salon nails, any kind of polishes that she put on. So it wasn't unusual for her nails to come off quickly. But I did want to, like I said, just kind of show you the longevity of the product, which really makes it worth your time and effort, worth the little amount of time that you spend worrying about having your nails done. I think that's one of the key elements of our products being as good as they are, is that it doesn't take a lot of time. It doesn't take for you to make an appointment or have to go to a salon. You don't have to sit anywhere waiting. And you can do it in the comfort of your own home, sitting at the kitchen table, sitting on the couch watching television, or like I like to do mine before I go to bed. So I actually sit in the bed while I do them. And it just makes life a little bit simpler. I still get to have my beautiful nails. Get to have the gorgeous look of my designs. And I can do them right here in the comfort of my own home, relatively easy and quickly. This set that I'm wearing right now took me roughly 30 or so minutes after I laid my pattern out and knew exactly what I was doing, just to apply them and make sure that they were secure and cleaned up. It took me about 35 minutes or so. So I want to show you some techniques tonight. But the first thing that I want to show you, since I am still wearing my set, I wanted to show you how easy you can remove your color straight nails. And now, mind you, I am wearing some glitter, and sometimes those can take a little bit longer to come off. So you just kind of have to put your cotton ball with your acetone, your nail polish remover. You can use any kind of nail polish remover. I just choose to use the 100% acetone because it does remove the glitters a little bit easier. So that's a tip for you. Make sure that you don't have to use anything in particular. My daughter had some stuff that had no acetone in it because she was using it on her acrylic nails, and the polishes come off the same way. It just takes a little bit more to get off the glittered areas if you're using a non-acetone. So I'm going to start with my pinky, and ladies, this is just a single strip on this one nail. So I'm going to show you how easy this removes. And I just like to leave it on for just a second or two with a good wet cotton ball. And then I'm just going to rub it around a little bit. We're going to get that off. It's already mostly off now, as you can see. So, I mean, it's no more difficult to remove than your average nail polish. Your bottom coat on these nails is a sticky coat. It is typical, even in salons, when I was doing nails, that the base coat that you put on your nails is a sticky coat, and that is to keep that color adhered to your nail well. So that sticky coat takes just a little bit longer, but as you can see, in very little time I've removed the nail polish from that finger. So that's how quickly you can remove your nail polish. Works just like anything else that you're going to put on your nails, and actually comes off a little bit easier than like your gel nails and stuff. So at least now you have seen the product in action as far as removal. You've also seen how long a set can last, and you'll see I have a little bit of growth on the back side of the nail. This is really what's caused me to decide it was time to remove and replace these nails. Looks like I need a fill-in. Now, in speaking of that, I could actually go in if I wanted to and add something on the back side of this, but I wanted to be able to remove these and to start a whole new set so that I could teach you how to do this too. Now, I'm not going to make you watch me take all these off. I'm going to come back. I'm going to go take these off, get them removed completely, make sure that I don't have any fuzzies attached to me, and then I'm going to come back and show you how to apply your color streak nails. Okay, so I'm back, and I've gotten my nails all clean. I've taken all of the polish off. And I've actually done a couple of other steps because I didn't want to have to do them here and have you painstakingly sit through that process with me. So, and they may be processes that you're not going to need. We're going to talk about them so that you fully understand the whole process, because I want to be thorough in teaching you the proper way to apply your strips. So what we are going to do now is we are going to talk about the nail prep process. And I know that a lot of people are very, very tempted to just go for it and apply the strips to your bare nails without doing any nail prep. Now, let me caution you on that. And the reason that I say that is simply because without a little bit of nail prep involved, you run the risk of reducing the longevity of your nail strips. And I want to make sure that you are getting the most out of every set that you purchase. I want to make sure that you're not wasting your time, that you're not wasting your effort, and that you are not wasting any money by having your nail strips not last as long as they should or as long as you expect them to. And so, in order to do that, you have to be thorough and make sure that you do a little bit of nail prep before you apply your strips so that you get the longevity that most people are seeing with the strips. Now, in speaking of that, I can't, again, promise anything, about the longevity based on your activity and how hard you are on your hands. However, the average person gets about 10 days out of their nail strips. I can make them last 3 weeks. So, I want to show you proper nail prep for your strips. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, I'm more comfortable with that view. So a couple of things that we're going to talk about now. I want to talk about some tools, some things that I use for prepping my nails with, and then we're going to move into the application part of this. So one of the things that I do, and I have to do every single time I do a mani, is that I have to remove length. My nails grow so quickly, and especially since using the color strips, the Color Street strips, they just grow really quickly. The Color Street strips are protecting my nails, and so I'm not getting the breaks and things with my nails that I was seeing before. So I have to remove length every single time. Now, that might not be the case for everybody. You may actually be trying to grow your nails. You may want them longer than I can tolerate them. I do a lot of typing in my job, and I do not like to what I call double type, which means clicking the key above the one that I'm actually going for. Not to mention, I'm one of those people that I cannot instant message and message on my phone with really long nails. So I like some length on mine, as you can see, but not the extreme lengths. For those of you that enjoy them, I am so happy for you. I wish that I could tolerate them that long, but I just can't. I know that mine would reach that length. All right, so what I do to remove length on my nails, I do not use nail clippers. And the reason that I don't is because they tend to sometimes split the nails. They also leave some weird jaggedy edges. I can easily remove the length from my nails with a good nail file. So my go-to product is a nail file like this one. I like the length on this, and I really, it's just easier for me to handle when they're a little bit longer. So these particular nail files you can actually purchase on Amazon. I think I get a package of 10 or 12 of these for about $5, but you can look them up on Amazon. This is actually one of the Amazon recommended, and I'm a Prime member, so I get free shipping, and it always brings these up when I go in there. So the good thing about these nail files is that they are double-sided grit. So what you have is on this side, you have a really strong grit. It's a harsher grit. And then on the other side, you have a more fine grit. The fine grit can help you with smoothing, making sure that you're getting those little burrs off, things like that when you finish removing a length from your nail. So to remove the length from my nail, I use this side of the nail file with the harder grit. Now, I am going to tell you, ladies, that if you are filing, shaping, doing anything with your nails, please, please, please make sure that you are only filing one directionally. And what I mean by that is that for me to take the tip of my nail off, I always file with the harder grit, and I always file down on my nail. Down. I never go both ways, simply because you can cause damage to the nail that you don't want to have happen. Always one directional. Okay, if you need to remove some little burrs or something that build up on the end as you're removing that length, flip your nail file over and just gently rake those little burrs up, and then you can file them back off in a downward manner. The other thing you do not want to do is this side to side stuff. Okay, you don't want to file your nail side to side. You are going against the grain of your nail when you do it this way, and there is a likelihood that you are going to cause damage to your nail doing that. So, down to remove, soft side, gently just catch those little burrs and flip them up, and then file them off back downward. Okay. And this is coming from me. I was at one time a licensed nail tech. I do not carry my license anymore, but I was at one time a licensed nail tech. And these are tips and tricks that I learned along the way to help keep your nails in good shape. Okay, so nail file aside, I've already shaped my nails for today. We will get into some other videos later down the road about shapes of your nails and how you can do that and how best to shape your nails. So now, after I get done with shaping my nails, my next step is my cuticles. I always want to take care of my cuticles and make sure that I get a nice open nail bed to work with your strips. Number one, it makes your nails look bigger and longer. Number two, your cuticles, if they lay on top of the surface and you put a nail strip over the top and you don't remove that, that can cause some lifting on the back side of your nails with your nail strips. So the tool that I use to push my cuticles is this cute little thing right here. It is a rubber tip, plastic handle, and I use this just to gently go along the edges of my nail and push my cuticles back. Now, I've already done this on all of my nails, but I'm just kind of trying to show you how that's done. And again, you just want to go along the edges and push your cuticle back away from the nail. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you something about your cuticles. I know that a lot of times you go into the salons and they will clip your cuticles. Ladies, that's really not good for your cuticles. Number one, you cause damage to the cuticle that may not be repairable. The cuticle of your nail serves a purpose. It is there for a reason. As your nail grows out from the root, your cuticle is there to moisturize the nail, to provide lubrication as it's growing, to keep it healthy. It provides blood flow and oxygen supply to your nail. So you want to make sure that you're not removing that cuticle. I know that there are people out there that will tell you to remove them, but I know you've been in a nail salon and had your cuticles clipped and you bleed and it hurts, and then they got to use styptic on it because it won't stop bleeding. And we just want to make sure that we're not causing damage to the nail. It is absolutely pertinent that you keep your cuticle intact and keep it healthy. Healthy cuticles equal healthy nails. Now, the good little thing about this tool is that it has a dual purpose. So you'll see on the other end of my tool, it's got a sharp edge. If you're one of those ladies that don't have a real sharp fingernail, or you would prefer not to use your fingernail to remove excess strips along the edges of your cuticle, this little tool works wonderfully. you can just take this little tool and you press it in around the edge of your cuticle, perforate your strip, and then you can peel that excess away. Very, very simple. Okay, so now we've talked about this one. Then I'm going to go to my ladies that prefer an orange wood stick. This works the same way as my little rubberized cuticle pusher. Only difference is this was the all-natural way. People talked about this was the best way. I really prefer this one. I get more uses out of this one because the ends of these become mangled in a very short amount of time. Now, if you are one of my customers and you don't have one of these cute little tools, please reach out to me because I will be more than happy to send one to you. I generally try to send one when anyone orders a set directly from me, from my flash sales or from me in person. I try to give you one of these tools. But if you don't have one, let me know and I will be happy to send you one. All right, so moving right along, the last little tool that I use to prep my nails is this. Now, this is a buffer block, and it's a soft grit. The top shiny layer from my nails has to be removed, and so this is the tool that I use to do that with. So, what I generally do is I do all of my nails after I have pushed my cuticles, and I'm going to show you how to do that with this tool. I just take this tool. Now, everybody thinks that removing the top layer of your nail is bad for your nail, and I've heard this from many people. However, I'm going to tell you right now, this is a critical step. It does not damage your nail. All we are doing is just gently removing the shiny from the top of your nail. And the reason for that is we want to make sure that any oil that may be on your nail is gone, number one. And number two, it creates a little bit of a rougher surface. And you know, I told you earlier that the nail strip's bottom layer is a sticky coat. Well, that sticky coat will adhere to a matte nail better than it will your shiny nail. So you're just going to take your buffing block, and these, of course, again, can be got. You can purchase these on Amazon very, very cheaply. I think I got a pack of 6 for a couple of bucks. So it's the same grit on all sides. There's no difference in the grit on the sides of these. They do make some that have different grit on each side, and they're great little tools, but for this purpose I just use a single grit block. So I like to take mine and kind of bend it a little bit like this, and that is just simply because it keeps it off my cuticles some. So I'm just going to take and bend my block, and I'm going to do one stripe down that side, one stripe down that side, and then I'm going to go down the middle of the nail just to kind of remove, and you can see, to remove the shiny off the top of the nail. And again, one directionally down away from your cuticle, and that's because that's the direction that your nail grows. Okay, so I've buffed all of my nails, so I didn't want you to have to painstakingly sit through all of this prep process with me. Even though it only takes a few moments, trying to show you and teach you would have taken a lot longer. Okay, so now we're going to move to the main course, and we're going to talk about our nail strips. I really wanted to introduce you to the package, and I would have loved to do that. However, I had a little blip in making my video before. It just lost everything, so I had to start over, and I'd already opened the strips, and so I don't get to introduce you the way that I wanted to, but it'll be okay. We're going to move through it anyway. As you can see, this is a color strip package. Generally, your nails are inside here. You can see them from the outside. They're in their little plastic sleeve, and they're all cute up here. But because I've already opened these, you're not going to get to see it that way, and I could not get everything back in the package correctly. So, with that being said, we're opening our nail set. I want to show you what's inside of your Color Street nail set. So, first of all, what you're going to find inside the package when you open it up, and ladies, this color is called Made in Milan. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. It may look black to you, but it is actually a beautiful chocolate brown. I hope you can see that. It is just such a pretty color. I've been excited about this set. I've been eyeballing it, and I've got some ideas for it. And with it being fall, I was ready for some brown chocolate with some pretty stuff to go with it, which y'all will get to see me apply on the next video. Okay, so you're going to get your color strips. They're going to be inside of this little clear plastic sleeve. And when you get your color strips, make sure that when you open them, you cut the end. But I want you to cut it as close to the end as possible, because we're going to need to use this package again. Now, the reason for that, and I'm going to give you tip and trick at the end of this video about your leftovers, and that's why we're going to need this little clear pack. So keep as much of this little clear pack as possible, okay? Now, next thing that you're going to find inside the package of color strips is going to be your nail file. And just like my large nail file, this is dual-sided grit. You've got a softer grit on one side and a harder grit on the other side. So you can use this the same way that I use my long one. Again, I just really prefer the length on this, and that's why I choose to use this particular file. But, you know, if you don't have them, this is a great little tool, and it comes free in your package. So you get a Color Street file, and you get a Color Street prep pad. We're going to talk about this cute little prep pad in a minute, but I also wanted to show you on the inside of your Color Street pack, you've got some information about Color Street. You've got some information about how the strips are actually created. I'm hoping you can see this little graphic. And then down here at the bottom, you have a how-to. I am hoping that my how-to is going to help you a little bit more than this one. So I'm going to put my trash away over to the side here, and then we're going to move on. The first thing that we have to talk about out of the color strip packet is the nail prep pad. So we've done all of this work to our nails. Now the last thing that we need to do is use a nail prep pad to prepare our nails and make sure that we've removed all of the oils from the tops of our nails. So we're just going to open this pad, and we're just going to wipe our nails with the pad. Again, this just makes sure that any of that dust left behind where you have buffed off the tops is gone, and that you've removed any oil that may have come onto your fingernails from your fingers themselves. Just like that. Okay, so now our nails, once they are all dry, are prepped and ready for application. Okay, so we are ready for our application, and we are going to move right into that. The first thing that I'm going to do with my nail strips is I want to size these. I pretty much know what fits on my nails already, but I wanted to give you a view of how I size up the nail strips. Just understand on each of your nail strips, you have two sides that you can use, and each side is actually a different shape. Um, in just there's not much difference. I hope you can see this. Um, but each side, each end of your nail strip is just a little bit different in shape. That way, you get more of a variety of choices for your nails. But I will tell you that even if all you have left at the end is some nails that really don't fit, these can always be sized to fit you. Don't worry about sizing. There's a bunch of ways that you can use these nail strips, and I want you to be able to think outside the box when it comes to using your nail strips. They can be used the way that they're designed to be used in the long form. They can be used in a sideways form like this. These are really good for your toenails. My daughter uses these to do her big toe. She turns them sideways and lays them on her big toe like this. And then, with the different designs, you might want to turn them, angle them, do lots of different things with them so that you get the designs that you're looking for. Since we're just doing a solid set this time, you don't have to worry about any of that. So I'm just going to show you how I size my nails up. So I know that these little ones right here, I don't really use them for my nails. I generally keep those out for pedicures because they work good on little toes. So I generally start with this set, this one here, because what you want to do is you want to start with your pinky. Always want to start with your pinky. So I just kind of lay it on there and let's see. Yeah, looks like it's going to fit. And you can see the difference in the ends with this one really well. This one's a little bit wider down here, and this one's a little bit thinner up here. I'm going to use the thicker side for mine. So I have bigger fingernails, y'all. I mean, they really are large. So we're going to take, and I'm going to peel back. You see the little purple tab there? I'm going to peel this back. This is the plastic coat that's over the top of the strip, and I'm just going to put that off to the side. Now we have the silver tab and then the white tab. The white is your backing. The silver tab is where you're going to lift the strip from. So I'm going to take and I'm going to peel that strip up. If I can get my fingernails on it, I'm going to. We're going to peel this strip and pull it away from the white. And then I'm going to take and pull the little silver tab off and stick that over to the side. And then I'm just going to, I generally work with my strips in the center. I don't work all the way at the end. And I'm just going to find a good position for that nail strip. I'm going to lay that down. Make sure I've got it. Nope, I want to move that. See how easy that was? They're pretty easy to move and maneuver if you need to. I'm going to move that. And then I'm just going to lay it down. And I always like to take my little rubber tip and I like to bring that nail nice and flat. And you see I've got some excess here. No big deal. I'm going to remove that very easily. But I like to bring that all the way down and make sure that it's nice and smooth all the way down the nail. Both sides. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the nail strip and I'm going to gently tuck it under the edge right there. And then I'm just going to use my thumbnail to perforate it on each side. I'm going to tuck this side over here. And I'm going to perforate that with my nail. Make sure I've got it nice and pulled and perforate it all the way across. And now I have leftover. So I'm going to take this immediately. I'm a little bit different. I know a lot of people just kind of stick this off to the side and they use it in a little bit. But I'm just going to go ahead. I know where I'm putting it. And apply that one to my other little pinky. And press that in place. And just that quick, ladies, I have laid 2. And then I'm going to show you how to clean these up and make them look good. So what I do now is I like to make sure that everything is tucked nice, bent over at the end. See, you can see I didn't have much left. So I don't really have anything much to remove at the end. And then it formed a nice little seal for me at the end where I just kind of tucked what little bit was left down across the end of that nail. And I do that because you're sealing at the end. Number one, you're protecting your nail at the end. And then number 2, you're giving it a little bit of a cushion so that you're not chipping that end off as you go along. So, again, I like to take my little pusher, make sure that everything is good and tucked, even down here at the end. I even run my pusher along the inside edge of my nail. And you'll see I have a little bit of leftover here. So what I generally do is I use my thumbnail and I just kind of run it along the edge right there, perforate off any excess that's on top of my finger. And then I just peel away the excess. Sometimes, if I'm having a hard time, I've kind of stuck it to my finger. And sometimes that happens. So I take my little tool right here and run it along the edge and then just kind of peel it. Well, y'all, it does not want to come. There we go. I'll do a little more cleaning up on this. Well, that just does not want to come loose. I stuck it down too hard to my finger. And sometimes I do this. I didn't really mean to stick it as hard as I did, but I did it. If you don't push it down on the skin real hard, it comes off a lot easier, but I have a tendency sometimes to be a little bit heavy-handed with mine because I'm trying to get that really good strip to nail seal, and so I have a tendency to just kind of, but there you go. So that's our first one. You see how quick and simple that was. Now I'm just going to move right on over to the second one. And you know, I've got a little bit of a weird end on this one simply because I used a already used strip. But again, trying to save you money, trying to make sure that we get as much use out of a single set as absolutely possible. So I've gotten that one all pressed down. You can see that one's pretty nice and neat. I just need to tuck on the edge, tuck on this edge, and then just, when I have just a little bit left like this that really kind of needs to come off, what I'll do is take my nail file on the rough grit side, and I just kind of go down the nail to kind of give it a perforation. And then I just kind of pick off all those little crumbly pieces. That's what I call them. And then anything that's left, again, I just kind of stick down across the top of the nail, the end of the nail. If it seems like I need to do some additional filing, I will, but I think this one is pretty good. And ladies, what happens overnight as this nail strip cures, it is going to draw up a little bit, so you get a nice, smooth, even fit. I've got just a little bit right there. But there's my two pinkies. They're basically done. I may go back if I feel like I need to at some point and just kind of, again, buff the little ends off if I think I've got a few little scraggly pieces that are looking funny. Sometimes you won't notice them until after you've got everything applied. But those look really good at this point. So I'm going to leave those the way that they are. If I feel like they need something in a little while, I'll go back to them. All right, so now I'm going to size and move to my next nail. And again, we're just going to peel off the top strip. If for some reason you make a mistake like I have in the past and you accidentally leave that clear top strip on it, let me give you a little piece of advice. Get you some Scotch tape, lay it across the top of your fingernail and pull. It'll peel that clear plastic strip right up for you. I've done it. Yes, I've done it, especially when I was first learning how to do them. Okay, so I know that this is going to fit my next nail. I'm going to pull that and push this little off to the side. I see I've got a little burr right here, so I like to go ahead and remove that. And then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to lay it right here on my ring finger. Make sure I've got good placement. I actually think I'm a little too far to that side. I think that's a better placement. Yep. And I'm just going to lay this on down. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. All right. So, now that I have that one in place, I'm going to do the same process. I'm just going to perforate the side, tuck that in and perforate the side. And then I'm just going to pull just gently and perforate that on off also. And again, you can pretty much see that if you're using this method and doing it this way, you are getting, I mean, it's almost on there perfectly. You really don't have any bumps or anything else at the end of this. There's not a whole lot of anything that I'm going to need to take off. I've got a little bit back here on the back side. I guess I left one of them little burrs on it. So I'm going to take that off. If I can get it. There we go. And then I just tucked the little bit of excess that I had after removing that under the nail. And again, I like to take my little pusher and just go right up under the nail and secure those little excesses in place. Okay, so now we've gotten this, kind of secured and tucked in. And so I'm going to take my extra leftover and I'm going to move right on over to the next nail. On the other hand, go ahead and get that laid down. And it is a little bit harder when you are not working with a full strip, but it's not terrible. So, do we have good placement? No. Let's move that a little bit. And I'm finding that this nail strip, what's left is not, I think it's not going to be long enough. Yeah, I've got where I perfed it. You've got just a little bit down here at the end that just is not quite enough nail. Now, you can with these strips a lot of times. If you're gentle enough, you can stretch them a little bit. And I'm going to see if I could stretch that and make that work. Because again, I want to... Nope. That is still not going to work for me, ladies. So that is one of the things is if you do not have, if your nails are a little bit longer, sometimes you can't quite cover them with by doubling that way. So I'm going to put that off to the side. I'll see if I can use it somewhere else, but I mean my nails are all pretty much the same length, so I'm probably not going to be able to. I have a tendency, for whatever reason, and I think I did it on this one, I left this ring finger a little bit longer than this ring finger, so it took up more of my strip than I anticipated. So I'm going to need another strip to do this other ring finger. And again, I just pulled the purple strip tab loose. Now I'm going to pull the silver the silver tab, and take that loose. I didn't leave any burrs this time. And I'm going to get that somewhere close to the middle and see if I've got good placement. I have a feeling it's good. Yep, looks good. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm getting good position on that. Giving it just a little gentle pull at the end. You don't want to pull it to the point that you damage it if you're wanting to use the leftovers. Tuck. Pop it loose. Bring it on this side. Tuck it. In that middle. And use my nail to pull it there. And just push it down. May have actually gotten a little bit right here on I did. On my cuticle. We can take that off pretty easy. I don't think I pushed that one in place so hard that I can't get it to cooperate with me on this one. And you see, I really do use my fingernails as tools doing this. It's just, to me, it's a little bit easier. And I'm just going to pop that loose. Got it stuck to that part of my fingernail. And dig that away. And then right along here. And pull that little piece away. And now we've got another one in place. And I'm trying to decide if I've got, nope, I do not have too much overhang on this one. So I'm going to tuck that down on the end like I've been doing with the rest of them. Use my little pusher. Secure those on the underside. And we've got another one in place. And I have some leftover. So I know that this one is not wide enough there. Maybe here. Nope, it's not long enough there. So I've kind of left mine a little bit longer than I think is normal. But again, they grow and I'm trying to keep up with all the growth, but some of it I just can't seem to keep up with. So we have both the pinky and we have the ring fingers done. So now we're going to move to these middle fingers. My middle fingers are a little bit bigger. And so generally what I do on those are these larger. Believe it or not, I do use these larger ones on my middle fingers. Simply because, again, I have wider fingers. So I want to make sure that I'm covering them completely. I don't want any open areas on the sides of my nails. I would rather remove excess than to have uncovered areas. So again, with taking the tabs off, and I left a little bit of a burr on this one, so I'm going to pop that loose. And then I'm going to take and apply this larger one to my middle finger. I'm going to have some excess on this one simply because it is a little bit bigger for my fingernail than what I really need. But like I said, I would much prefer to have a little bit of overhang that I have to remove than to have not enough coverage to reach both sides. And so I've gotten that all cleared up. I think that's good and clean. I've got, a little bit maybe that I'll go back and do some clean up on. But I think for the most part, they're looking good. Everything is pretty much complete. Now we just got to apply these thumbs. So, of course, I use the fattest strip for this one. Because, again, I have wide fingernails. Okay, so, again, I peel this one. and get these thumbs applied, and then we're going to finish up and be just about done. I'm going to go ahead and pull the tab off. I left just a little bit of a burr, so I like to go ahead and take care of that. Again, do your thumbs last just because you use your thumbs routinely in doing this process, and so you want to make sure that you leave them where you're not bumping up the ends of them or anything until they've had a real good chance to cure. And I'm gonna had to reposition that one just a little bit, and I still have a bubble. There we go, got it that time. And I'm gonna have excess to clean up on this one, and I know that this one is never long enough. My thumbnails are just, I probably don't get them short enough, but it's okay. So I tucked it, popped it loose. Gonna do the same to this side, tuck it in, tuck my corners, and then just pop it loose. And I know that I will need a secondary strip to finish this process with that one. So I got one more large one to do, and then we will be wrapping this up. Again, we're going to peel the clear off. We're going to peel the silver tab. We're going to pull the silver tab off. And then we're just going to go ahead and apply this last strip. Okay, ladies, so I have finished getting all of the excess off of this nail. So basically our nail set is complete. So, like I said, our nail set is complete. We have everything completed. Everything is done. I need to kind of let them settle, make sure that I don't have anything that I need to repair or, kind of buff off the ends a little bit. I generally like to give them some cure time, see where they're going to shrink, and see if there's anything else that needs to be done to them after that. But that I can tell right now, there's no issues, there's no problems. So, it is my intentions to add on to this look. I have some nail art ideas that I want to add to this. Now, there's a couple of other things I want to share with you before I leave here today. I really hope that this video has been instructive and helpful to you, because that is my number one goal, is to help you and to make sure that you understand what you're doing with a set of Color Street and how to apply them and use them and do it all properly. So the next thing that I want to do is show you just really quickly what we're going to do with all of our little leftovers here, because we did have about a little over a half a strip. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little sleeve that these came in to start with, and I'm going to put all of my leftovers in this little sleeve. Now I want to tell you a little something about Color Strip. It is a dry nail polish. However, it is an uncured nail polish. So if you leave it outside in the open air, even if you're putting it in a Ziploc or sandwich bag or anything that you might think that you're storing it in, it is not going to last inside there. It is not going to last in the dry air. And that is simply because, again, Color Street is an uncured dry nail strip. That means that there is some slight moisture left in it, and that is just so that it is pliable and easy to use for you. So we're going to take all of our strips and put them back in here, because if you leave these out, they're going to dry out and they're going to cure and they're not going to be usable. They become very difficult, very stiff, and very hard to use. So we just take all of the extras and put them back into the sleeve that they originally came out of, just like this. And you see, I've made sure that I have put them down near the bottom. Now, I am going to take my flat iron and I'm going to turn it on, and I am going to, when it gets hot, just catch the end of this, count 1, 2, let go. It is going to seal your package back up for you, which means that your strips will not cure. They will seal inside here and they will remain fresh. The other thing that you can do with any of your strips is put them in the freezer. They will last much, much longer and stay much fresher in the freezer. So if you are a color strip hoarder, like I am, you will want to take your strips that you're not using yet, your sets, the whole thing, and stick them in a Ziploc and stick them in the freezer, because it's going to keep your strips nice and fresh for you. That way, when you get ready to pull them out, they're all nice and fresh. Now, make sure that if you are going to use a set that you're pulling out of the freezer, that you pull it out of the freezer 12 hours ahead of time so that it has enough time to sit and become room temperature. The other thing is that our color strips are very temperature sensitive, so you want to make sure when you are putting on your nails, if it is cold outside or cold in your house, whether that is due to air conditioning or because you choose to keep your heat set at a much lower temperature, which some of us do because, you know, I'm 50 now. So them hot flashes don't play. You might want to take your nail strips and pull out your heating pad and set these on your heating pad for just a couple of minutes, because it does help to kind of warm them up and make them a little more pliable for you. Okay, so we are basically done, ladies. And what I want to say now is that if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'm going to be doing a lot more videos for you in the future, giving you tips, tricks, showing you some nail art. I'm going to show you a lot of different ways that you can use your color strips. And I want to make sure that you get to see those videos when they hit. The second thing is that I would love for you to join us in my VIP group on Facebook. And you can find me on Facebook under Donya's Divine Designs. I have a business page there, and on the business page, if you hit the business page, you can hit the button that says view the group, and you can invite yourself to the group. If you want to PM me from the business page, please feel free to. I would be more than happy to send you a friend invite and then invite you over to the VIP group from there. There are many ways that you can join, all of which I would love to have you. I would love to have you as a part of our group. If you have looked us up today, that means you were interested, and I would love to take your interest over to the VIP group. In the VIP group, that is the heart of my business. That is the core of my business, and that is where I spoil my clients. So that we have sales that happen on a regular basis. I have games and prizes and free giveaways, And sometimes I just choose to give away a free set. So if you're interested, please join us there. If you're interested in trying the product and you've never tried it before, I would love to send you a sample. All you have to do is PM me, and I will slip that sample in the mail to you and get it out as quickly as possible. Make sure that when you PM me, you include your full name and your address so that I can send those over to you. I am always looking for someone to host a party for me, a Facebook Live party. Very easy. I do all the work. You get all the rewards. You have nothing to lose. You get a free set of me for being my, you get a free set from me for being my hostess. And then you also earn credits, money credits that you can use to buy free product. So if you're interested in being a hostess, I would love to have you do that. I would love to work with you on that. Just PM me, send me a message, whatever it takes. Make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that if you watch the video, you take a minute to comment. I would love to know how you, what you felt about the video today. And I would also love to know if you have some ideas of things you'd like to see me post. Otherwise, have a wonderful Color Street day, and I will see you next time.